Today it is kind of power hour, Funky Friday. We're going to get moving. So I have designed a class which is rocket inspired. It's going to make us move around the mat. We're going to play around with some inversions. We're going to play around with some balances. I'm going to be all over the place. Obviously, go to a place that is comfortable for you guys. Whenever there are ways that we can advance the practice, I'll let you know. But there shouldn't be anything that is hard to do when we're doing inversions. It's just kind of playing around with kind of handstand jumps, but it's again within the realm of what you can and cannot do. So we're going to start off in Shavasana, nice and calm to begin with. So we're going to come onto our backs, relax the feet. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can put your feet to the width of the mat, bringing the knees together. Just close the eyes here. Start to connect with the breath, consciously being aware of your breathing. Starting just to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Allowing yourself to sink into the mat. Releasing any tension in the brow and the jaw. Allowing your shoulders just to relax into the mat. Trying to draw the breath into the belly on the inhale. Allowing the belly to expand like a balloon. Naturally noticing that when we try and draw the breath into our belly, our breath inhale lengthens. Starting to count in the mind, maybe for the count of 3 or 4. Or if you want to challenge yourself today, 5 on the inhales and the exhales. Next inhale, bringing the knees in towards the chest. Gently rocking from side to side, just slowly massaging the lower back. Bringing the legs up into a nice right angle, hands extended out in front of us. We're going to, on the inhale, take opposite hands and legs, lengthen. Exhale, bring them back up. Inhale, lengthen. We really want to be engaging the core here. Pushing the lower back down to the mat. Protecting our lower spine. Making this slow, controlled movement. Don't want to see any of this. See. Just slowly lengthening. Just starting to fire up the core. One more on each side. Really focusing on the breath. Once we've come back here, we're going to do both at the same time. So we're going to inhale, lengthen. Really engaging the core, pushing that lower back. Exhale, come back up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come back up. 3 more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, push back up. Engaging the core, focusing on the breath. The shakes are good. Last time on the inhale here, we're going to extend, holding it extended. Sorry if my voice starts to go shaking. Really engaging the core. Breathing here. One more inhale. Releasing the hands and arms down to the mat. Taking a few breaths here. Coming back up to that tabletop position, reverse tabletop. We're going to do it one more time. We're going to inhale, extend. Engaging that core, pushing the lower back down towards the mat. Making sure that our shoulders aren't up around our ears. We're drawing the shoulder blades back and down. Really drawing through the inner line. One more inhale here. Exhale, relax. Drawing the knees into the chest. We're going to gently rock from side to side. Coming back to neutral. We're going to rock now up and down the spine. Slowly building up momentum. Come up to a seated position. We're going to widen the legs. So wherever feels comfortable for you. We want to draw the spine long. Leaning forward, coming into a forward fold. So you can see here I've got a nice length from the coccyx all the way through to the crown. So if you're trying to lean forward and doing this, then come back up. Doesn't really matter where you are. We just want a nice stretch in the hamstrings. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Leading with the chest. So finding where it feels comfortable. Keeping the legs flexed. The feet flexed. Just warming up the joints before we really get going. Breathing here. One more inhale here. And walk the hands back up. We're going to bring the right foot to the inner edge of that left thigh. We're going to inhale, raise the arms, folding towards that left foot. Trying to find the foot. If we can't, then framing the foot with the hands. Using the hands and the forearms to draw the chest forward. So we're aiming for the chest on the shin. Breathing here. Again, trying to avoid rounding the spine. Keeping that left foot flexed. Going to inhale, walk the hands back up. Place the right hand behind the glutes. And on our inhale, we're going to push the pelvis up. Coming up onto the knee and the foot. Lengthening that left arm up and over. We really want to be lengthening from the fingertips all the way through to the left toes. Breathing here. One more inhale. Lowering down. Adjusting our feet, so we're extending the right leg, bringing that left foot in towards the inner thigh. Squaring the body so that we're facing the right foot. We're going to inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Again, keeping that right foot flexed. If we can't reach the foot, or we're finding that we're rounding and drawing the shoulder blades up towards our ears, we just frame the foot with the hand. We want to maintain nice length in the spine. Listening to your body here, not making yourself go too deep if it's not comfortable. One more inhale. Inhale, coming back up. Placing the left hand behind the glute. We're going to inhale, push the pelvis towards the sky. Take that right hand up and over. Really pointing with that right toe. Lengthening from fingertip to toes. Nice stretch all down that right hand side. Gazing up towards that right hand if you can. Really making sure on the left hand we're engaging fingers in the mat. We're not putting all the weight through the wrist. One more inhale here. Exhale, come back down. From here, we're going to cross the heels, step back to a downward dog. Finding our dog, so we want our hands roughly shoulder width distance apart, feet hip width distance, micro bending the knees, tilting the pelvis towards the sky. We want to be conscious that we're not flaring our ribs, we want to close and engage the core. Finding our downward dog. We might want to walk out the legs here. Giving them a bit of a stretch if this is the first practice of the day. From here, looking between the hands, we're going to walk the legs towards the hands, coming into a forward fold. Grabbing opposite elbows, just gently swaying from side to side, doing a yes-no motion with the neck. Allowing the elbows to sink closer and closer towards the mat. Releasing the hands, we're going to inhale, slowly rolling up, one vertebrae at a time. Bringing the arms above the head. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. We're going to run through some sun salutations, so keeping the feet roughly hip width distant, tucking the pelvis, drawing the shoulder blades back and down, Siddhasana. We're going to inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the floor or to the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale, place the hands, stepping back, high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, either lower the knees or chaturanga, tucking the elbows, engaging the core. Inhale, upward facing dog, drawing that chest forward, legs off the mat. Exhale, downward dog. Few breaths here. Using the downward dog to connect back with the breath. We're going to make every movement fluid with the breath if we can. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, step or jump forward, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, hands raised above the head. Exhale, Samasthiti. Two more. Inhale, raise. Exhale, forward fold. Connecting with that breath. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, place the hands, step back, high plank. Inhale, engaging the core, tucking the elbows. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Careful that we don't go too low. Inhale, upward facing dog, opening the chest. Exhale, tucking the toes, downward dog. Inhale, one. Exhale, one. Inhale, two, really tilting the pelvis towards the ceiling. Exhale, three. Inhale, four. Exhale, four. Inhale, five. Exhale, five. Bending the knees. Inhale, step or jump forward. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Last one, let's try and make this as fluid as possible. Inhale, raise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, place the hands, step or jump back, high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, strong legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, 1. Exhale, 1. Inhale, 2, closing off the ribs. We don't want to flare the ribs. Inhale, 3. Exhale, 3. Inhale, 4. Exhale, 4. Inhale, 5. Exhale, 5. Inhale, looking forward. Half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, Samasthiti. We should be feeling warm. Vinyasa, we're going to inhale, raise. Exhale, forward fold. You're going to inhale, half lift. Exhale, place the hands, step back to downward dog. From here, we're going to start to get real warm. Inhale, raise the right leg. We're going to inhale, lengthening that leg. Exhale, draw that knee to the nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Make sure that we're really using the fingers. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Engaging that core. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Placing that foot between the hands. We're going to inhale, raise the arms, coming up to crescent lunge. This is going to kill me. Inhaling here. We want to make sure we're tucking the pelvis, pushing through that back heel, drawing the shoulder blades back and down. Breathing here. Connecting back with the breath if we've lost that rhythmic pattern. Keeping the knee tracking forward. From here, we want to inhale, lengthen the arms. Exhale, bring the hands down into prayer position. We're going to inhale, shift the weight forward, lowering down, coming into warrior 3. Keeping that back foot flexed, we want the toes pointing towards the mat, making sure that our hips are squared towards the mat. You can keep your hands here at prayer, or you can extend them, I won't because I'm going to hit the wall, into the full pose. Really want to be grounding through that standing leg, engaging the core here, breathing, lengthening. This will be quite difficult if you've got flat feet, so you really need to be conscious that you're not rounding and lowering into the arch of the foot. From here, we're going to inhale one more time. Exhale, hands come down towards the mat, standing splits. So there's an option here. We can either keep drawing the chest towards the shin, or we can have a bit of fun and we can try some handstand jumps. So what we want to do is we want to keep the left leg, extended and straight. And we can use the right leg to bend and just do little jumps. We're just engaging the core. We don't want to go too high. We're just starting to fire up the core, seeing how it feels. We want to be grounding into the mat with our fingers. We don't want to be going straight through the wrists. Just having a little fun. Little bunny hops. After you've done about 5, I'm going to stop there. We're going to come back to standing splits. One more inhale here. Exhale, lowering that foot back, coming back into our crescent lunge. Again, making sure that we're tilting the pelvis, pushing through that back heel. Inhale here. One more inhale. Exhale, lowering down onto that left knee. We want to heel toe the foot over towards the edge of the mat, bringing the hands down onto the mat. Coming into a lizard lunge. We're going to place the weight into the left hand, place the right hand onto the inside edge of the right knee, pushing that knee out towards the side, allowing the foot to roll onto its side. Taking the gaze up and over the right shoulder. If you want to deepen into it, you can come down onto your forearms to deepen into that hip joint. But what we want to do is maintain lengthen the spine. If you're on your forearms and like this, come back up. Breathing here. Connecting back to the breath if you've lost it during the bunny hops. Focusing on the breath. Allowing yourself to let go of any tension that you're carrying in that right hip. Few more breaths here. Coming back up, placing the hands on the mat. We're going to tuck that back toe, push back to a downward dog. Walking the legs out here. Noticing how the right side feels differently to the left. From here, we're going to inhale, raise the left leg. Really lengthening the toes. Inhale here. Exhale, knee to nose. Really getting rid of any stagnant air that we've got. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Really squeezing that knee towards the chest. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Two more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Placing that left foot between the hands. From here, we're going to inhale. Raise the arms, coming up into crescent lunge. Making sure that the left knee is tracking forward. We're pushing through that back heel for stability. Make sure we're tucking the pelvis. Lengthening the arms. Breathing here. Connecting with the breath. From here, we're going to inhale, lengthen our arms. Exhale, bring them down. Prayer position. From here, we're going to shift the weight into our left foot, folding forward, making it like it's a balancing beam. As the leg comes up, the chest comes down. Keeping that right foot flexed, toes pointing towards the mat to help square off the hips. If you've got this base and you feel comfortable, you can extend the arms out, almost like a Superman. Conscious here if you do have less of an arch on your foot, that you're not rounding into the inner side of the foot. From here, one more inhale. Exhale, hands come down towards the mat, standing splits. So, option again here. We can keep the hands and keep walking the forehead towards the shin, extending that leg up. Or we can step the foot back, to where we feel comfortable. Hands roughly shoulder width distance apart, jumping up into a handstand. If handstand's in your practice, then crack on. We're going to keep that right leg extended, using only the left leg to bend, just pushing up. Engaging the breath. As you can see, it's all work in progress, people. We're going to be soft when we land. Try not to come down with a lot of weight. Okay, once you've done another couple of jumps, coming back to a forward fold, keeping that leg raised, drawing that forehead towards the shin. We're going to lower that right foot back down, coming back into our crescent lunge, making sure that our alignment is correct, protecting our lower back. Breathing here. Inhale. Exhale, lower that right knee down towards the mat. Heel toe the left foot over towards the left edge. Bringing the arms down, the hands down towards the mat. Same as before. I'm going to shift the weight onto the right side. Left hand comes, pooped, onto the left knee. We're going to roll that knee out towards the side, allowing the foot to roll onto its edge. Opening up that left knee. If this feels comfortable, we can come down to the forearms to deepen into that pose. Just listening to your body. Maybe closing the eyes, connecting back with the breath. Allowing any tension that you're carrying in your left hip to be released. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, come back onto our hands. Tuck that back toe. Push back. Downward dog. From here, we're going to come down to our knees. Come into a child's pose. Take a few breaths here. So throughout the practice, if ever it gets too difficult, you can always make your way back down to a child's pose. Connecting back to the breath. If you've lost the rhythmic breathing, just allowing that count to come back in on the inhale and on the exhale. Just trying to keep this breath consistent throughout your practice. On our next inhale, walking the hands forward, tucking the toes, coming back to our downward dog. As we get ready to begin again. So we're going to draw the shoulder blades back and down, tilting that pelvis towards the ceiling. We're going to inhale, step the right foot forward, lowering down that left heel, We're going to inhale, raise the arms up above the head. Exhale, lower the hands down, coming parallel with the mat. We want that right knee tracking forward, externally rotating, making sure that it's not rolling in. We want to protect the knee. We don't want this action. This action. We want to be externally rotating. Grounding through the outer edges of the feet, extending the arms. Focusing on the breath here. Gonna give the legs a bit of a burn. Want to watch that back arm isn't dropping or going out to the sides. I'm going to try and keep it consistent from fingertip to fingertip. From here, we're going to inhale, lengthen that front leg. Exhale, bring that right hand down towards the mat as we come into triangle. If you haven't got access to the mat, you can hold your ankle or your shin. We open the chest up to the left hand side. Feeling a nice stretch on that right hamstring. Breathing here. Focusing on that breath. Couple more breaths here. On our next inhale, we're going to bend that right knee, either keeping that hand on the mat, or we can come up onto the right knee with our elbow, taking the arm up and over, twisting that chest open to the side. If we have got our hand on the mat, we can explore the bind, so we can take the left arm round, grab hold of that thigh, don't know if you can see my fingers. If that feels comfortable, we can take that right hand and go under the leg to grab the hands. Using this to open the chest, looking up towards the left. Couple of breaths here. We can even have a little play, so I might fall in a minute. But what we can do is we can bring that left leg closer towards the body so that we're still keeping our bind, and just start to play with lifting that right foot off the mat. So we want to find our gaze. Slowly inhale, raising that foot off the mat, keeping our bind. Once we have our gaze, we can start to extend that leg, coming into bird of paradise. As you can see, mine's a work in progress. Concentrating here. Couple of breaths, grounding through that standing leg if you're trying bird of paradise. One more breath. Exhale, bring that foot back down. Stepping that left foot back so that we're in our lunge. Releasing the bind. We're going to inhale, keep the legs where they are. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Exhale, folding forward, humble warrior. So we want to avoid leaning on that front leg because that's cheating. We want to make sure we're engaging the core, going in the gap. We want that right shoulder on the inside of that right leg. Breathing here. Inhale, come back up, bringing the hands to prayer. We're going to pivot on our left heel so that we're coming back into our crescent lunge position. From here, we want to inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twisting to the right, taking that left elbow to the outer edge of that right knee. Gazing over the right shoulder if you can, pushing through that left heel to help with the balance. Breathing here, feeling the burn, I feel it too. 2 more breaths. Placing the hands on the mat, stepping that foot back, walking the legs out. Option here, we're going to do 5 breaths in downward dog, or we can come down onto our forearms, coming into our dolphin. So I interlace my fingers. So we can walk the legs closer towards the body, building up some shoulder strength. So we really want to be pushing against the mat with our arms, drawing the shoulders back. Breathing here. Trying to connect back to the breath. Two more breaths. Coming back if you're in dolphin, to downward dog. Walking the legs out, coming back to neutral. And guess what? We've got the other side to do. We're going to inhale, step the left foot forward, lowering that right heel, bending that left knee. We're going to inhale, raise the arms above the head. Exhale, relaxing the shoulders, coming into our warrior two. So watching that knee isn't folding in, we want to externally rotate, opening that hip, gazing at that left hand, watching our back hand doesn't drop. Breathing here. We're going to inhale, extend that front leg. Exhale, bring that left hand down towards the mat. Right hand comes up and over. Gazing at that right hand. Feeling a nice stretch on that left hamstring. Focusing on the breath. On our inhale, we're going to bend that left knee, either keeping the hand where it is, or you can have that elbow on top of the knee. Bringing that arm up and over, opening the chest. Lengthening from the outer edge of that back foot all the way through to the fingertips. Same as before, we can stay here, or if you feel like you want to try for the bind, we can go grab our thigh. If we've got the thigh, you can bring that left hand underneath to find the bind. Here, using that bind to open the chest, gazing up towards the shoulder. Or we can have a bit of fun. We can step that right foot in, find our gaze, and start to bring that left foot off the mat. Once we have that gaze, extending that foot, coming into bird of paradise. Breathing here. One more inhale. Exhale, bringing that left foot back down, stepping that right foot back in our bind. Releasing the bind, coming up, bring the body up, keeping the legs where they are. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, slight back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Again, watch that you're not leaning on that knee. You want to engage the core. Feeling the burn. 2 more breaths here. I'm going to inhale, come back up, pivoting on that back foot, coming up, bringing the prayer position. We're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twisting towards the left. Right elbow goes onto the outer edge of that left knee. Gazing over the left shoulder. Breathing here. Everyone's doing well. I can tell. Breathing here. One more inhale here. Bringing the hands down to frame the foot, stepping that foot back, walking the legs out. Same again, you can either stay in our downward dog or come onto the forearms, building up some core and shoulder strength. We can walk the hands towards the body till we feel comfortable. If pinch is in your practice, then this is when you can do that. All the rest of us can build up some strength. So if we're here, we can stay here, or on the inhale, we can bring the chin towards the hands. Exhale, push away. Inhale, chin to hands. Exhale, push away. Inhale. Exhale. Really pushing through the shoulders, using the elbows on the mat. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Nice work, guys. Coming down onto our knees for a much deserved child's pose. Relaxing onto the mat. Connecting back to our breath. If we want to, we can bring the arms alongside the body, almost in a little ball. Just allowing the forehead to sink onto the mat. Just connecting back with the breath. From here, we have the option to go through a vinyasa, or we can go into a seated position. So if we're doing a vinyasa, we're going to come up into a plank position. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Coming into a seated position. We're going to draw the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. So we want the soles of the feet together. Using our peace fingers, we're going to hold the big toe. Draw the chest forward. You can have your feet, your heels as close to your pelvis as you want. It's easier, obviously, the further away you go. So just where feels comfortable for you today. We're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, folding forward. We want to keep the elbows on the inside of the legs. Focusing on the breath. Just connecting back to the breath. From here, we're going to inhale, keeping hold of the big toe. We're going to roll back to find the balance on our coccyx. Extending the legs, pushing through the heels. So we want to draw the chest forward, push through the heels, gaze up towards the sky. If you can't fully straighten your legs, then keeping them bent is absolutely fine. Just make sure you maintain a nice straight back. I don't want to see that. So finding where it feels comfortable for you. Really engaging the core, drawing the shoulder blades back and down. One more breath here. We're going to bring the feet together, keeping the core engaged, gazing up towards the ceiling. Again, bending the knees is fine as long as we're not compromising the back. One more breath here. Now from here, we're going to release the feet coming into our boat pose. So what we can do here is, if that's too intense, now that you're not holding your toes, you can either hold behind your knees, again, drawing that chest forward, shoulders back. You can extend your hands, keep the legs together, squeezing in the midline. Or if you want to challenge yourself, you can extend the legs, really engaging the core, feeling the shakes. Really engage the core here. As you can see, I too am shaking. From here, we're going to cross the heels, step forward, high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming through to seated. We'll lower down onto our backs as we prepare for a bridge pose. Hey, the sun is in my face. So we want to place the hands next to the glutes. We should be able to feel the heels with our fingers, or the tips of our fingers. We want the feet and the knees roughly hip width distance apart. We want to inhale, tuck the pelvis, follow that curvature of the spine, coming up onto the shoulders. We should have no pressure on the neck. We want to be pushing the pelvis up towards the sky. If this is comfortable, we can go up onto our shoulders a bit further, interlace the fingers behind the back, really engaging the muscles here, pushing through the feet. Two more breaths here. Inhale, releasing the shoulders and the bind. Exhale, lower back down. Windscreen wiper the legs from side to side. Just gently massaging the spine. Another time, bringing the feet back, checking their alignment. Inhale, roll the spine, coming up onto the shoulders. Coming up onto the shoulders a bit further, interlacing the fingers. Really pushing the pelvis up towards the ceiling, engaging the core. Again, no pressure through the neck. Should all be on your shoulders. One more breath here. We're going to inhale, release the shoulders, lower back down one vertebrae at a time. Windscreen wiper the legs from side to side. Option now, we can either do another bridge, or if you want to try a wheel is in your practice, or you've been doing wheel the whole time, who knows. So same as before, we're going to bring the heels close towards the fingers, roughly hip width distance apart. We're going to place the hands either side of the head, roughly shoulder width distance apart. We're going to inhale, tilt the pelvis. I come up onto my tiptoes because it gives me more space in my hips. Coming up onto the crown of the head. Once we're there, we're going to inhale, push up to a full wheel. Leading with the chest, opening the chest, really pushing through our feet, engaging our fingers here to protect our wrists. If you're trying this and you want to come back down, when you're ready, you just come down onto the crown of the head and then lower down. Protect your upper back. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. From here, we're going to bring the knees in towards the chest, rocking from side to side. Slowly making our way to a seated position. We're going to extend the legs, coming into a forward fold. So keeping our feet passive in this pose, we just want to fold forward. This time we can have a round in the back, just completely allowing the body to sink down towards the legs. From here, walking the body up, we're going to cross the legs, roll forward, step back to a downward dog. From here, we're going to bring the right knee forward, placing the right knee behind the right wrist, walking that left foot back as we prepare for a pigeon pose. So we're slowly starting to calm the body down. We want to make sure that the hips are square, the right knee is tracking forward, draw the shoulder blades back and down. Start to walk the arms away, coming onto the forearms. If this feels comfortable, we can extend their hands Bringing that forehead down towards the mat. Closing the eyes here, connecting back with the breath. Allowing yourself to just focus on the breathing. And with every exhale, just letting go of any tension in that right hand side. Just allowing yourself to sink deeper and deeper into the mat. Not allowing any thoughts to come into the mind. If they do, just on the inhale, accepting them. And on the exhale, just letting it float on by. Just noticing where you feel like you're carrying the tension in your right side. Noticing if it's moving. Couple more breaths here. I'm going to inhale, walk the hands back up. We're going to tuck that back toe, push back to a downward dog. Walking off the legs. I'm going to inhale, bring that left knee towards that left wrist. Walking that right foot further away, preparing for pigeon on the other side. Again, watching our hips aren't dipping. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walk the chest down towards the mat. If this feels comfortable, we can extend the arms. Again, noticing if one side feels tighter than the other. Just connecting with your breath, allowing the body to sink closer to the mat. A couple more breaths here. I'm going to tuck that back toe, bring the hands underneath the chest, pushing back to a downward dog. Walking the legs out, coming to a seated position. We're going to extend the legs out in front of us. So option here, we can take the right leg over the left so the knees are stacked. We can bend that right knee so that it's at a right angle. Or if we can go deeper, we can bring that right heel towards the left hip. If that's comfortable, we can then also, we can either stay here and inhale and lengthen and fall forward, or we can bring that left heel towards the right hip. We want to have both knees stacked, heels drawn towards the hips. Feeling a nice stretch on the side. We want to draw the shoulder blades back and down. Just closing the eyes. We can slowly lean forward. To wherever feels comfortable. Just focusing on the breath. If you've got one leg extended, then we can extend both legs again, taking the left leg over the right, bending that knee, drawing that left heel towards the right hip. Or if you're here, or in a variation of here, we can do the Michael Jackson. So we can stand up on our feet, twisting to the left, come all the way around, bending the knees again. Bob's your uncle, you're on the other side. So just making sure your knees are stacked, heels are drawn towards your hips. Again, drawing the shoulder blades back and down. Stand, sitting tall. You start to fold forward. Again, try not to round the spine, we want to draw the chest forward. A couple more breaths here. Coming back up to seated, releasing the bind, slowly lowering down to the mat, coming into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Feet to the corners of the mat, allowing the feet to flop to either side. If that's too tense on the hips, we can drill the knees together. We're going to extend the legs, releasing the hands next to the body with the palms facing towards the ceiling. Relaxing the shoulders, making any adjustments you need to get comfortable. We're going to collectively inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Removing any control of the breath. Just coming back to your natural breathing. Relaxing the jaw. Maybe parting the teeth slightly. Making sure the brow is relaxed. Trying to stay in this present moment. Listening to your body. Feeling the sensation of how the body feels after that practice. Allowing the body to relax and sink into the mat. Slowly bringing awareness back into the body. Wiggling the fingers and the toes. Bringing the feet together, the arms outstretched above the head. You're going to inhale and really give the body a nice full stretch. And exhale, just let it go. Keeping the eyes closed, slowly making your way up to a cross-legged position. Bringing the hands to heart center. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.